Alright, good morning, 7th grade. Right now, I would like for you to do as your do now. Page 410 to get ready for the lesson. Again, that's 410. Page 410, get ready for the lesson. It's at the top of the page of 8-3 for stem and leaf plots. You have 2 questions to answer. So, at this time, if you have not done so already, get your notebooks, your classwork books, and complete it. I would like for Ms. Penn to time you and give you 4 minutes. And I would like for this video to be paused now. Alright, so let's go. Which chick weight is the lightest? I'll give you a minute to answer. Ms. Penn, you can pick someone. Alright, hopefully at this point you guessed it. The lightest chick was 5 grams. Next question. How many of the weights are less than 10 grams? Ms. Penn, can you pick someone? Alright, to answer this question, you would have to make sure that you went to the areas that were less than 10 grams. So that would make this one 1, 2, can't count that one, 3. So it looks like there were only 3 that were less than 10 grams. Alright, so what is the purpose of stem and leaf plots? According to a book, it said that a stem and leaf plot, in a stem and leaf plot, the data are organized from least to greatest. The digits of the least place value usually form the leaves, and the the next place values form the stems. Alright, so let's take a look. So let's define what a stem and leaf plot is. Alright, so stem and leaf plots, we'll put definition here. Stem and leaf plots are ways to organize data. Organize, that's supposed to be an N. Alright, so let's take a look at a generic stem and leaf plot. With a stem and leaf plot, you must have a chart. You're going to have a stem part, and then you're going to have your leaves. And you also have to have a legend. What your legend does, or sometimes they call it key, this lets the people know what kind of stem they have and what kind of leaves they have. Because sometimes you have to have a bigger stem than just 1 digit. Sometimes your stem is 2 or 3 digits. So this just gives them a way to know what the the key is. Alright, so we're going to show how to do that, and we're going to use an example that is in the book. So if you still have your book open, I like for us to look at page 410 at the bottom where it says check your progress. Alright, so we have check your progress, and it's at the bottom of page 410. It's the home. It says homework. Alright, and it reads, the number of minutes the students in Mr. Blackwell's class spent during their homework one night is shown. Display the data in a stem and leaf plot. So let's take a look at the data that we've been given. When you do a stem and leaf plot, the first thing that you want to identify is which one is your lowest term and which one is your highest term. Looking at this data, we have 0 as our lowest term, and it looks like 75 may be our highest term. So that means we're going to need stems from 0 all the way to 75. Alright, so you might want to write that down as a note. So in order to do a stem and leaf plot, we must identify your lowest and highest terms. So let's just write that on the side. Identify lowest and highest term. You should be writing this down in your notes. So let's just make this our example. Alright, so this is page 410, and they consider this homework. Alright, so we said we're going to have to go from 0 to 75. Since the ones place is our lowest place, that means that these are going to be our leaves. So the only other place, the highest place we have is, let's say, 10. So this right here is going to be our stems, the 10th place. Alright, the other thing that you have to know about in a stem and leaf plot, you must order from least to greatest. Alright, so let's go. We have a stem of 0, a stem of 10, 20, 30, 40. Need to make mine longer. 50, 60, and 70. Alright, looking at the data, we have 0. So we're going to go with 0 right here. Do we have anything in the 10s? Oh, I'm about to forget 5. So we have 0, and then we also have 5 that will go as a leaf. Alright, let's look. We have anything in the 10s? Doesn't look like it. What about the 20s? Alright, we have 23 and 24, it looks like. 23 and 24. So we're not going to put anything in this spot, but we're going to use 23 and 24. Alright, let's look for the 30s. We have 2 30s. So I'm going to write those down. So you don't have to write the first part, just write 2 30s. What else do we have? We have a 35. So we're going to add a 5 for 35. Alright, we also have 39. So we want to add something for 39. Alright, we're just going to go back through and just make sure I got all the 30s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we have 40. So we have 42. So I'm going to add a 2 for 42. We also have 40. We have 2 45s. So I'm going to add 2 5s for that. We also have a 47. And we have a 49. Alright. Let's see, in our 50s, we have 51. We got 56. 55. So I gotta put 55 first and then 56. We have a 58. Alright, let's see what else we have in the 70s. I see a 75. I see 2 of those. I don't see any 60s. Alright, so we need to count these to make sure we have enough numbers. Alright, after counting, it looks like I forgot a 45. So, we're going to add that 45 in there. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, I have all 20. Alright, the only thing that I'm missing now is my key. So, I'm just going to pick any number and let them know what it is. So, a stem of 2 with a leave of 3 is going to be 23. Alright, so that's all that we have to do in order to make it into, that's all we have to do in order to make it into a stem and leaf plot. From the stem and leaf plot, they may ask you to figure out the mean, the median, the mode, and also the range. It's easy to find the range in this because we could just look at the smallest value, which would be right here, 0, and then we go to the highest value, which will be 75. So 75 minus 0 will give us the range. To find the median, I tell people to be careful with that because some people try to cross out, but when you're crossing out, make sure you're doing it properly. What I usually do is figure out how many I have. For instance, we have 20, and I divide it by 2, and that means 20 divided by 10. Since it's even, we're going to add the 10th and the 11th number is going to be our median. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So between those two, but since they're the same, we can find the average. But since they're the same, it's going to be that. So 45 plus 45 is 90, and divide by 2, that'll be 45, and that will give us our median. Our mode is going to be the most frequent value, and looking at the numbers, it looks like 45 is also the most used number. We talked about mean, median, and mode last time. That's kind of why I didn't write it down. But I wanted to show you guys how to put this in a calculator so you can get the stuff to be calculated for you. Alright, if you don't have a calculator, let's pause the video and make sure that everybody has one. Because when I come back, you're going to be tested on these steps. So we're going to pause the video now. Alright, so everybody should have their calculator at this point. So let us turn our calculators on. And we're going to still be working from the same problem that we started out with, which was homework on page 410. I want to teach you guys how to put the data in the calculator. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is press Stat. The next thing you want to do is press Edit. Alright, so if you have data in your calculator, you want to clear that out. And I want to show you guys how to do that. I also wrote the steps down, so just follow along with me with the calculator, and we'll get the steps down in 1 second. Alright, so in order to clear your the data from your calculator, let's just start the whole calculator over from the beginning. So I'm going to write the steps down for that. I just thought about that. So to clear the calculator, we're going to press second. We're going to press the plus sign. We're going to press the number 7, the number 1, and the number 2. So again, that's second, the plus sign key, 7, 1, and 2. And what this does, it clears your calculator out. So if you've let your calculator be borrowed by someone, it'll just take away all that data. So I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to hit second. I'm going to hit the plus sign. Whoops, that was the minus sign. I'm going to start over. I'm going to hit second, plus sign, 7, 1, and 2. You should get something like this that shows up. Alright, so let's enter our data in. So let's press Stat. The Stat button is located right there, right under Delete. So we're going to press Stat. We're going to arrow to Edit, which it should already be on. So we're going to press 1 or Enter, either one. So it should take you to here, and you should not have anything in there. So we're going to put our data in the calculator from the book. So we're going to go from the book just so we won't make any mistakes. So I'm going to put in the number 42 first, and then 47, and then 56, and 58, so on like that. So you press the number, and you press enter. You press the number, and you press enter. Alright, so I'm about to move on to the next column. So that's 5, 0, 23, 55, 75, 24, 39, 75, 30, 45, 30, 45, 45, 51, 49, and 35. Miss Penn, please make sure that everybody has their data in. If some people need more time, we need to go ahead and pause the video. Alright, now that everybody has their data in, we're going to go ahead and ask the calculator to help us out with like the mean and also give us the median. The calculator cannot calculate mode, and the range, the way it displays it, it makes the range easy to find. So let's go to stat again. That's this key right here under delete. We're going to press stat, and this is going to show up on your screen. We're going to arrow over to calculate. We want to get some statistics from our calculator, so we're going to hit 1 for variable statistics, and we're going to hit enter. Now some of you may have like this other thing that shows up on your calculator. Just keep pressing enter until something shows up like this, especially those of you who have the fancier calculators. Just make sure it says L1 and then arrow, keep going until it say calculate. Keep pressing enter until it says calculate, and you should get this up. So let's talk about what all of this stuff means. This right here, X bar, that's the mean or the average. So 41.44. Alright, this right here where it says N, it tells you how many values you have in. You have N of 20, that means we have 20 items in the calculator. Now the other stuff, I'll let you know what it is, but you don't really need to know that. This right here, this stands for sum of the numbers. So 829 was the sum. This is the sum squared. This is the standard. These two deal with standard deviations, but you don't need that. But what we do need is if we arrow down. I don't know if you guys remember, I had told you guys I was going to be talking to you about box and whisker plots. So this information is what you need for a box and whisker plot. But for today's purposes, you'll need the minimum, because the minimum helps you out with your range. This median is the median or the middle number, and I already told you that the middle number is going to be 45, and then the maximum we said was going to be 75. All right, the only thing that a calculator does not calculate, like I told you, is the mode. So let's talk about this stuff on paper, and let's get some notes written down. So I'm gonna go back to how we clear the calculator. So if you didn't write this down, this right here will clear your calculator of all the data. So you're gonna press second, plus sign, 7 and 1 2. So I'm gonna pause right here for 10 seconds so you can get that written down. Alright, moving on. So let's talk about how you're supposed to enter your data. So to enter data, and again, you're going to be testing on this when I come back, so let's make sure we got it. To enter our data, we go to Stat, and then we press Edit. Then you're going to enter your data into L1. After you enter your data into L1, alright, to get the information, I'll just put to get info, you're going to press Stat again, and then you're going to arrow over to Calc, and then you're going to hit 1 for variable stats. After you hit 1, you want to make sure you press enter. For some of you, you're going to have to press enter more than once just to get something to show up on your screen. Just as a recap, so that was stat, over to calc, and press 1, and then enter. And then you're going to end up with all of this information. I would not press anything because you'll mess it up. So don't press enter or anything. You can press up and down, but don't press enter. But let's talk about what these little symbols mean. Alright, so X bar. This is going to be our mean. Alright, so we arrow down so we can get the other ones. Alright, the min one, that is your minimum value. Or sorry, the min x is your minimum value. The MED, that's your median. And the max x is your maximum value. So this kind of helps you, especially when you have a lot of data all over the place. It kind of helps you. But what it also can do, we can use the calculator to organize the numbers. So this will help us in our stem and leaf plots. So I want to show you this last thing, how to sort your numbers. Alright, so in order to sort your numbers, so you don't have to try to do it yourself, just like I did earlier, I forgot a number. This will help you not forget. Or sorry, yeah, this will help you not to forget a number. Alright, so what I want you to do is press stat. And you see these right here? You have sort ascending and sort descending. Since we want it to go from least to greatest, we're going to say sort ascending. So that's number 2. Alright, so since that's down there, sort ascending, it needs to know what you want sorted. We put our data into the L1, so we're going to tell it we want it to sort ascending L1. L1 is located above your 1 button. It's hard for you to see it on mine, but whatever your second button color is, it'll be the same color. So mine is blue. So I'm going to press second, and then I'm going to press 1. So I'm telling the calculator, I want you to sort for me list 1. And I'm going to close parentheses and press enter. And then it'll just show done. Alright, so if you want to see the numbers in order from least to greatest, there's a couple of things you could do. You could go back to stat and press enter. That's one way. But you see now the numbers are in order from least to greatest. Now you don't have to worry about it. You have all your numbers in order, and you could get it into your stem and leaf plot a little bit easier. Well, that's it. I hope that this helped you. I'll write out that step just in case some of you need that. So to sort numbers, alright, so to sort numbers, what you want to do is go to stat. You're going to hit 2, and you're going to press second and 1 to let the calculator know which list you wanted to sort. You're going to close the parentheses and press enter. I'll do it one more time just to make sure we're clear. Clear that out. So I'm going to go to stat. I'm going to arrow over. No, I'm going to go to stat. I'm going to press 2. I'm going to hit second and 1, close my parentheses, and press enter. It's going to say done. So in order to go back to the list, you want to just hit stat again and press enter. And then that'll get you back to the list, and you can see it in order from least to greatest. Alright, now it's your turn to do some work. Yay! Alright, what I want you to do is on page 412, I like for you to do numbers 1 through 5. Page 412, 1 through 5. Gonna have someone write on the board. Chas, write that on the board, on the back on the board. You can erase the week 31, 33, those weeks. You can erase those and put this up. Alright, so again, that's page 412. We're going to do numbers 1 through 5. And this is your classwork. After you get done with it, and Miss Payne, after you see that everybody is finished, you can have them go over it. My book is located underneath the pencil sharpener. It should be the volume 2 book. Alright, and last but not least, we have homework. The homework is also going to be on page 412. You're going to do numbers 6 through 12. Alright, write this also on the board, Chess. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at helpmissnelson@live.com. And you can feel free to watch this video again at Andreas Miguel off of the YouTube. Search that and you can watch the video. So here's the Andreas Miguel. You're going to do that on a YouTube search. And then if you need to email me, you can email me at helpmissnelson, all lowercase, at live.com. Let's get to work.